I am excited about what I want to talk about in this video today. I am trying to come up with, you know, I get these ideas of what I need to say, and then it's finding the right words to say about it. One of the things that we're faced with in our everyday lives is that image of who we are. I posted that in my last couple of videos, and dropping that image and being who we are and respecting someone else for who they are, and vice versa. And I had an experience that happened that I want to share to give an example how it happens every single day in our lives in the littlest ways. I did orientation for my new job, and they were giving out the shirts, and they didn't have one my size. The smallest one was too big for me, but that's what they have. And I could tell by the way this manager gave me the shirt. And then I have a family member that works in another location as a manager at one, so I contacted him and asked if they had the small size that I needed. And he said, he didn't have it in his text. I mean, we can never tell what someone means in their heart through a text, but just the words that he used sounded apologetic. And it made me realize part of it could be because especially this last part of my career, I've been a GM in a store, and I could sense and feel the word I guess I want to use is, oh no, like I failed in their, oh, I don't have this, I should say they were worried about what my reaction was going to be. I could tell by their answers. And in my mind, I really wanted it, and I was, wanted a shirt that fit, but I've been a GM before. I know you forget the shirts. I know. Among other supplies, it happens. And I do that myself. I will say or not say things sometimes because I think of what the other person's going to say or not say first. And that's our first mistake, our biggest mistake. It doesn't matter what the other person says or thinks or is gonna say. We don't even know, and we assume and we act this way, and that's how we become this person that's not even us, because we are trying so hard to be what we think everyone else is gonna say about it. And I'm not sharing that to embarrass anyone or make anyone feel bad. Everything that happens to me, I have started saying, what am I learning from this? And what I learned from that is how not only they did that, but then looking at my life and how I do it every day in different situations all the time, and am trying to get better at it. And doing these videos are helping me get that confidence back. And there's so many people out there that I can think of that help me become this person that is, who I am. I grew up in a big extended family. My dad, there were 7 kids in his family. My mom had 3, so I had lots of aunts and uncles. I had four aunts on my dad's side and 2 aunts on my mom's side. They were all very super involved in my life all the time, even on a daily basis. It takes a village, and that's what we were, is a village in this small town in Kansas. Some of us even lived, as neighbors. It's that small. And I really appreciate that I had that, because now that I'm in this place I'm at and went through the things that I went through, I can look back on those experiences and what my aunts taught me, what I learned from watching them, from hearing them, the examples they set. And I hope that I can be as good of an example as they were to my nieces and nephews. I don't live as close to them as I did with my aunts and uncles growing up. So I'm not involved in that day to day, but I hope things that I do in my life, even these videos I'm doing, I hope that some of it will be an example to them, and they will be able to learn and grow from things that I've done, whether it's, negative things that they don't want to do and that they learned because, they heard of my experience, or positive things that they saw happen and can, grow from it. And I had one aunt that I was particularly close to, who is no longer here with us on this earth. Her name was Anne. I am super close to her daughters because they lived, we had alleyways, and they lived just across the alley diagonally from me. I babysat for her because she was a single mom, and so sometimes she would have to work evenings. So I would go over there and babysit because I was just right there, and it's family, and we're there to take care of each other. And her and I had this relationship that I didn't have, as close as I was to all of my aunts and all my family. I didn't have the same relationship, and it's that relationship I talked about in a couple of videos. The video when I talked about, my experience I went through, and that's what we had, is that respect for each other. She had no problem telling me, and I pushed things to the limit. I pushed everything to the limit, from how I dress to how I talk. The people that I'm friends with that people think I shouldn't be friends with, which is also bullshit. You can be friends with whoever you want. Everyone needs love, no matter who they are. But she taught me that she didn't always like everything I did, but she wasn't afraid to say her opinion, let me say my opinion, and we loved and respected each other for it. We were very close because of it. I would wear, especially in the summer, I like to wear next to, skimpier clothes or revealing clothes. Even these pants, she probably would have made a comment on, and she didn't care who was around, and I didn't care who was around. She made her comment, I made mine right back. We could smile, laugh. It was awesome. And even now, her daughters will remember that. If I'm, where I was home, a couple of years ago, and I had on a dress that, was tight fitted, tank dress, and, they remembered that memory of her and our relationship. And so that's how I learned to be true to myself and learn that respect. And I'm thankful I had that person in my life, so that it kept me true to myself, even the times that I wasn't true to myself. So I hope that I can be that person for my family that teaches my family to be true to themselves, and anyone else that watches these videos that I put on here, to be true to yourself. Doesn't matter, who thinks what, and to pass that on and to respect the other person for who they are and ask for that respect. That's a really hard thing to do. I still haven't done it with everyone in my life that I want to, but it really is asking, hey, I know, like that I do this, but please respect that, that's part of me. And it's okay to ask for it. They might not give it to you, but again, it's not your problem personally, it's the other person's. So I didn't go to her funeral. I had a very hard time with that because I couldn't bring myself to tell her goodbye, and it's not that I ever regretted it, but it has weighed on my heart pretty heavy, a lot. Like, why did I just really feel like I couldn't go to her funeral? And I know it's because I wasn't ready to say goodbye to her. I needed her, and I feel like she has been here with me, helping me through this, with the things that she tells me in my head even now. And even now when I get dressed, it gives me the confidence to go ahead and wear what I want to wear, because I have that battle with her when I'm doing it. And I needed to keep that hope to keep me going through this. So I'm sorry getting a little emotional, but she was a very awesome person for anyone that knew her. She She was just that way. She was not afraid to say, I don't like this, but if you do, all right, but we're going to get it out in the open. And she loved her family so much. And I know that she still is watching over them and loving them from where she's at. And I hope that she is being as blessed more than what the blessings that she gave people here on this earth, because she deserves it. And so I just wanted to make this video as kind of dedicated to her and a tribute to my aunts for giving me that extra value I needed in my life. I had my parents, very loving parents in there, but the more people you have loving you and giving you examples and ideas, the more you're gonna have to learn, grow from, and then offer when you get to a point you can do that. So I just want to say that aunts are awesome. I'm an aunt, and I hope that I can become a more awesome aunt. And I want to thank my aunts for being in my life every day of my life and always loving me. I know they all loved me for who I am, but that relationship of actually getting it out in the open and saying it and not being afraid for both of us to be who we are is what made that one a little more different and stand out to help me, learn something I needed. So I am so thankful for that. I am thankful for another day that I can be here. I'm thankful for all of you. I'm thankful that you watch this, whoever watches it. And I want you to take something from this to be positive in your life and help you know that you are loved, you are worthy, and be you. And I will see you next time. Thanks for watching me.